We got cornerback Beanie Bishop. Questions for Beanie?
So, Beanie, just start with analysis on the secondary. I mean, it's your first year here, but what have you seen first two games?
I see we play hard, and obviously we're improving every week. We just have a lot of things to work on. Just getting better day by day, week by week. And just, it's always room for improvement. And that's just an area that we have to improve. This past week, we gave up 200 something yards, and the week before gave up a lot of passing yards, I believe. So just improving, just every aspect of coverage and being able to tackle and, get the ball down.
What's been the message? What have the coaches been telling the corners? Is there anything particular they say, hey, we got to get better at this?
I just think just cover skills, just sticking to our guys, not letting guys get open down the field and stuff like that. And when quarterbacks scramble, stand on the guys because that's how they made a lot of their plays last week. Quarterback just threw the ball up and just hope for the best. And their guys were out there making plays and catches. So just sticking on our guys.
Interception like that. I mean, just the emotion of getting one.
Every time you get an interception, it changed the game. Just being able to swing momentum. The crowd erupted and stuff like that. Just being able to make a play in front of the home fans, it was crazy. Just being able to make the play and like I said, last time I was in front of you guys, told y'all guys we want to lead the nation in takeaways, and I kind of want to be able to lead by example, and any way I can get the ball, interceptions, fumbles, any kind of way, like being able to try to change the game with that. And after the turnover, offense went down and scored, so just one of those things, it's a game changer.
Walk us through that, because that was not an easy interception. When you talk about degree of difficulty, I mean, it was like Willie Mays catching the ball in the World Series all those years ago. I mean, you had to keep your head turned around, but you didn't get it around. So talk us through that.
It's just, explaining it is probably sound like simple, but it's just one of those drills that we work every day. Like we work that drill every day. And it's just about, taking those practice reps, building them up day by day. And then eventually, you never know when, but eventually it'll come up in a game. Just trusting the technique. And I was able to, locate the ball and it, just kind of dropped and just holding on to it. A lot of my teammates told me they thought I got it caught on, but, just being able to keep my technique and just remain calm and poised and, just do what I've been taught.
Looked like you took it out of his hands almost.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he tried. We kind of fought for it a little bit. I think he was a little shocked. I seen some of the pictures and, seeing like people's faces, seeing them on the ground and stuff like that. It was kind of crazy.
Were you mad you didn't get one or even two at Penn State?
Yeah, people tell me, "Oh, you supposed to have this," all of that. But I mean, yeah, I could have that, but I don't try to dwell on the past too much.
Do you get a chance at all to look at any film or have any thoughts on Pitt's quarterback, Woody Kurd, and what he brings to the table?
We're kind of just still, making corrections from last week, and going into this week, we're gonna watch a lot of film and then see what's the strengths and weaknesses. Watch a little bit of the Cincinnati game.
Do you guys expect, because you did go into the season thinking the defense is secondary a lot better. You talked about wanting to lead in takeaways, and then had some, hiccups in the first two games. So do you expect a veteran quarterback, especially like that, to test you guys out?
Yeah, for sure. I think every game, especially since we play in the Big 12, it's going to be a lot of passing. So I feel like a lot of it's going to fall on the secondary. We're just trying to gel together, watching film and stuff like that, and improve on coverage skills, like I said. And I think teams are going to try to attack us, but we're ready. We know what's going to come, so we're just preparing every week.
What's the biggest rivalry game you've played in before this week?
Wisconsin and Minnesota for the Aggies. But I don't think it was as. I mean, it's it's been a long, the rivalry there was long, one of the longest ones, but I don't think it's like as much hate as it is for this rivalry. Like, fans didn't really seem like they cared, but it wasn't like this. Like, we hate Pitt all year round, so it's kind of one of those things.
No curse words in the songs, right?
Nah, no sir.
Have you talked to your guys, like, hey, the corners, I mean, you kind of become kind of the leader. Have you talked to them and said, hey, we got to be better. We got to perform better. It's on us. We got to do that. Have you given that pep talk to them a little bit?
Yes, sir. And I told guys, like, and I was telling Ruffin and some of the other guys, like, we have to trust ourselves, whenever we're able to, make plays. We got to be able to trust ourselves, instead of getting past breakups, let's go for interceptions. Like, you don't want to, like, those average guys get past breakups. You want to go to the NFL, you want to, get takeaways in any way possible. So, pass breakups are okay. It's being an average corner. But takeaways, that separates those guys into the elite category.
Is there a method to that, though, for not trying to do too much on some plays and having to be more conservative sometimes and not go for the interception?
Yeah, but, you just got to trust your technique and those kind of things. I don't think coach would be mad at you for being aggressive, but at the same time, not going out of your way to try to make a play, and then you try to do way too much and do something else and cause more harm than good.
Can you talk a little bit about controlling, handling emotions of a cornerback? I mean, you make the interception, it's great, but you dropped one in the previous game. Yeah, how is that? How do you handle the emotions of it?
I always just try to, don't be too high and don't be too low. Stay pretty even keel, have poise at the end of the day. So whether give up a catch, break the ball up, get an interception, it's always next play mentality. You don't want to go in a play holding your head down, because offense coordinators, they look at the stuff like that. You moping around and you look sad and all of that kind of stuff. They're gonna keep going at you, so just trying to stay even keel.
How do you teach yourself that lesson?
You learn it. And coaches say it all the time, just seeing the guys, like seeing some of my teammates like hold their head down, and then next thing you know, the offense keep going at that guy. So just learning it that way instead of learning it the hard way, where being sad and all of that stuff and get picked on. So
You have a bad day where you got picked on anytime? You learned it. I'm guessing maybe you have to do it.
Yeah. I would say my last year at Western, when we played UTSA, that was probably one of my worst games of college, and just seeing that. So like, I just promised to myself, it was like a sad day. It was a shootout, sad day. Just told myself I wouldn't let it happen again, and just control all my emotions. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Cause in that game too, I made plays, but just don't let myself get too low at any point.
You finished that season pretty strong. Is there a difference created right there? First set, Justin?
A huge difference. I just started talking to a psychiatrist. Just being able to clear my mind and those kind of things, and doing stuff outside of football to make sure that my mind's clear, and always go back to my why. My family members and things like that, and teammates, and just know whenever, like, it could always be worse.
What do you do to get away?
I'm into photography and play video games. My last year at Western, I took a photography class, ended up getting a camera because one of my friends she was in journalism. So just doing that and being outside, it just kind of helps me be at ease.
The thing you said earlier about sticking with guys and don't let it get too far away, I imagine that's day one stuff. But they're good players on the other side too. How do they get away? How guys let them get away?
I just feel like guys have their eyes in the wrong spot. Quarterback runs around, guy peeks back at the quarterback, and the receiver goes a different way, and the quarterback just heaves it up, and the guy's running away from him. So.
Do you think that's been the quarterback scrambling? That's been the biggest kind of issue so far.
Yeah, for sure.
So is that you're saying just keep your eyes in the right place? Is that just a discipline thing then?
Yeah, it's hard because you sometimes you see too much. You wanna make a play, and like I said, it's sometimes guys trying to do too much instead of just staring on a guy, looking at the man instead of looking at the quarterback. You look at the quarterback for 1 second, the guy somewhere else, he throws it up. It's a chance of being a catch or a pass interference.
So in a play like that, if you're just sticking on your man, I mean, you just kind of have no idea what's going on, back at the line of scrimmage. I mean, how do you go through that? You don't know where the quarterback is, if he's taken off yet, or how do you work through all that?
You kind of want to be on top of the receiver. If you're on top of the receiver, you can see the guy, and then you can see through him to the quarterback. So then whatever sudden movements he make, you still can be on him, and you can see whatever's still going on. But you don't want to see too much, or else you'll lose your guy.
So the receiver's watching the quarterback, and you're just watching him.
Yeah, basically.
How's your prep week? Obviously, you get through the last game, you correct that. You personally, walk us through from today through Saturday. How are you going to prepare for Pitt?
Just I watch a lot of film. Today it'll be first and second down. Then you get third down tomorrow. Well, actually, first down today. Tomorrow will be second down. Okay. Then Thursday, third down, fourth down, stuff like that. And then eventually getting to break it up, look at their top formations and things like that, top pass concepts, top runs. We already went over some of the receivers that they have or tight ends, things like that. That's how I kind of watch film. And then, staying on top of my body, doing all kind of recovery stuff like that, with all the modalities that we have downstairs.
So like maybe Friday is review. When do you start reviewing all the things that you build up through the week? Is that when you start? Or?
I'll say Thursday after practice, and Friday, we do like quizzes and tips and stuff like that.
Okay.
So growing up in Kentucky, did you know anything about West Virginia Pitt rivalry? And do players like playing in rivalries? I mean, you think about this more than just a regular Saturday?
Growing up in Louisville, I didn't really hear about it too much. Not that I can remember. What was the second question again?
And just in general, a rivalry game. Do you get more jacked up for a rivalry game than a normal game, or Saturday is Saturday once you get out there?
I feel like a lot of guys do get into the rivalry game thing. For me, I don't really get too high or too low. It's just another opportunity to go out there and play football, But seeming that this is a rivalry, I am very excited for it. Just especially after all of the guys explain some of the history behind it and a lot of the hatred, and just seeing that, like, not only from my teammates, but like from fans. If I go into stores and go get food, and if I have my West Virginia stuff on, they're like, let's beat Pitt. Like that's the main thing. Even before the season started, that's like the focus. So yeah, I think people get excited, very excited for the game.
To that end, though, is there ever a sense in your mind, and even as a leader, to help others, to make sure you don't get too psyched up, if you know what I mean, that you're just like not able to be as good because you're just too overly jacked? Is that a thing that can exist, that a player can get too overly jacked up?
I think so, because some guys, get bought into the hype of the game, and then start doing other things that that's like out of their control, like trying to make more play, trying to make plays out of position and stuff like that. So yeah, I do think it's a thing, but just trying to tell those guys, just do your job. At the end of the day, you just have to do your job. You're 111th, and everything else will fall into place.
Have you had games at Western that seemed like more of a rivalry game than the games you had in Minnesota?
Yeah, the Marshall game, when we played Marshall, hated those guys. But yeah, that would probably be the biggest rivalry that we had.
Does it usually, instead of it being just a rivalry game because it was always a rivalry, do you seem like it's a bigger game because like Marshall was usually better and that was like a big game anyway?
Yeah, and we kind of, my last year there, we played those guys for the Eastern Division championship. So when we went in, whoever won that game was going to go on to play in the conference championship. And, obviously we won that game. But, the guys, even like every year before that, it's just like bad blood. Like, guys are talking crazy to each other, trying to inflict pain on each other and stuff like that. So you understand that when we played those guys in green, it was a lot of hate between us.
Your Minnesota-Wisconsin game, was that in Madison or was that at?
Yeah, at Camp Brendan.
Is there something about going into another stadium that's obviously emotional and playing on the road? Is that different for a player than playing at home, and better in a way, worse?
I like it, because you're gonna have some fans at the game. I don't know how many fans we had at the game, but just going into the opposing team's home stadium and just imposing your will on those guys, and seeing the crowd get deflated whenever you make a play or something like that, it's just like a momentum shifter. And they don't have, if the crowd's not into the game, like, it makes a huge difference. Like, those guys will feel that when their crowd's not into the game. And we kind of get energized off that kind of stuff, So I like playing rivalry games at the opposing team stadium.
What felt better, beating Wisconsin in Madison or beating Marshall in Huntington?
I want to say beating Marshall. We needed that, especially it was a lot of stuff going into the game. Obviously winning that game sent it to the conference championship, and that's something that I didn't get to do before. So I think that had more importance of than obviously just keeping the Ags, which that was cool and stuff too. But just being able to play in a conference championship, that's something that you dream of, because winning's hard, and a lot of guys don't get to experience that.
You weren't on the team last year, but are you already hearing some players that were around talking about last year's brawl, and like, did you see that atmosphere and watch that on TV or see what that was? So you're talking about you love playing at the opposing team's place in a rivalry game. That's the example.
Yeah, I seen some pictures. Guys haven't really talked about it too much, but just seeing some of the pictures and seeing like some of the highlights from the game, I just seen like how fun it looked, and just like hearing Brandon talk like before me, like just hearing him talk, like the crowd. And I think even Coach Adon told me, I think it was like the most fans they had in a Pittsburgh sporting event or something like that. So just seeing that and having a chance to go out there and be part of history, I think it's going to be exciting.
Okay, anything else for Beanie? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.